I beat a game this weekend. Hopefully y'all had a fun time as well. We'll talk about that in a second, but first, good morning, Mario. And good morning, Switch fans. Big leaks and news today as we prep for the Mega Direct that we've been waiting for since February. So what's going on, everybody? It's Zach from SwitchForce. We're talking Breath of the Wild 2. We're talking big third-party gets for the Switch. And we're talking a massive leak that is, well, it's interesting. So let's kick it off with a little bit of fun stuff. I beat a game over the weekend called Tinykin. It's basically the Pikmin 4 that Nintendo is too afraid to make, and I made a really cool video about it. If you want to check that out, that went up yesterday, and it features me interviewing Miyamoto about Pikmin. Now, I love the game. It's a little bit on the shorter side, but totally worth it for the price point, and because of the super sick art, the amazing traversal speed, and the cute little Tinykin that are basically Pikmin for a new generation. Now, speaking of new generation, all right, we do have a Direct coming, and more continues to leak out about this Direct. We're very aware that it should be focused on remakes and GameCube. That's been established. That was last week's conversation, right? All this stuff about GameCube coming back in a big way. Twilight Princess, Wind Waker, F-Zero GX, Metroid Prime. All right, this week, though, we're focusing on something a little bit more forward, a little bit more ahead of the curve, all right? Let's begin with the Snitch, who is a really secretive leaker. All right, he's got a lot right about, or maybe everything right, about Xbox and PlayStation. He stayed kind of away from Nintendo, but here he comes with a Nintendo hieroglyph. All right, so he posted a whole bunch of emojis. We've got a tree, a clock, a bee, a house, pants, and a book alongside two Nintendo Switch icons. So what the heck is he teasing here? Suss it out, can you guess? Yes, indeed. It's about a really annoying book, a cute family that's dealing with some problems, and a bunch of levels that involve trees, ice, bees, houses, clocks, and more. This is a tease for It Takes Two, which is a fantastic game. Something that I've said from the beginning would be so darn good on Switch. This is EA and Hazelight bringing together a unique co-op adventure where every level has totally different mechanics and you play as two shrunken people. Shrunken people are kind of the mode right now, all right? Tinykin, the game I just talked about, that's got a shrunken person, and this one also of Excalibur type quality. We're talking yank the sword out the stone and feels so good. Now, when it was released on Xbox, it was a game where if I bought it, you could play with me too. It had like a guest pass thing. I wonder if they do that for Switch, and if they do, it instantly becomes one of the must-buy indies. I'm sure this will be revealed at the Direct next week, and it seems like Jeff Grubb and a few others are like, It Takes Two. It's coming back for a second round, but on Switch. It's the perfect fit. Nintendo should really make a game just like this, where it's cooperative in a cool way, every level different, but It Takes Two sets the precedent, and if it does come, like it looks like it will, you gotta get it. Now, this one, I don't really get. All right, I've seen a bunch of headlines that say rumor, big leak, and are trying to really amp this up, tout it as something tentpole and huge and cool and oh my god, face melting. Even though I never really understand that reference because face melting sounds horrible and painful. So why is it in conjunction with something that's really good? Anyways, this is about the Mario movie, and apparently they've uncovered the title. Well, they think they have, so it's a rumor, but it's really no rumor at all. If you had to guess, put all your money, put your house, your puppy, and your Nintendo Switch 2 on the title of this film, what would you guess it would be? The Super Mario Bros. Movie, what do you think it'd be called? Super Mario Bros. That's the big rumor. That's the big leak. I don't want to spend too much more time on it. I hope we get to see a trailer soon. But of course, the movie is called Super Mario Bros. What else would it be called? Mario and Chris Pratt have a sing-along? I mean, it was going to be called Super Mario Bros. That's... And in other sort of goof troop type news, Splatoon 3 has leaked all over. Retail copies have leaked, cracked versions are popping up, and people are posting everything about the game. And I'm not going to spoil any of it for you. In fact, I've tried to avoid reading it because I don't want to spoil it for myself. Although I will tell you, I saw one boss fight, and it's pretty darn cool. It's really cool. No like hints or anything, but it's really cool. It's out there. The game's out there, so be wary, okay? This means you could see screenshots. This means you could see posts. This means you could see story deep dives. This means you could see boss lists. Some of the more reputable data miners like Oatmeal Dome have said that they're not going to be spoiling anything from the story, but now that the game is out in the wild, it is something that will probably come up. I wouldn't be surprised if YouTube videos start popping up. Nintendo will probably take them down quickly, but if they're posted in the evening, if they're posted at night, people know how to make this stuff work, and you might find yourself facing off against some Splatoon spoilers. Now, I know most people are excited about the multiplayer component of the game, but if you are big on the lore, the story, and any sort of like secret modes, features, clothing, weapons, that's all going to probably be out there. So just sort of like a helpful PSA for myself and for you, like, let's be careful. Don't want to ruin this experience. It's one of Nintendo's big releases of the year, and it's here. September 9th felt so far away, and it's here. It's this week. So we will, of course, be playing it, streaming it, all that good stuff. But be vigilant. Watch out. Unless you want it to be spoiled, then, I mean, have at it, I guess. But, yeah. Splat 3 splatted a little bit early. This has me so worked up. And I have a challenge for you, and we're doing a prize. So, Breath of the Wild 2. Breath of the Wild 2 has been just this long, arduous climb. I feel like it's Everest. Maybe not that deadly, but I feel like it's a big mountain, and like we slowly make our way and learn bits and pieces, but nothing really all that revealing. And finally, it seems like it's time. With this upcoming September Direct, it seems like there is going to be a heavy Zelda focus, but not just Zeldas from before being brought into the limelight. Yes, Breath of the Wild 2 being ready to show. And according to Jeff Grubb and new insight he provided on a recent podcast, he says that he is pretty confident that they will unveil the name for Breath of the Wild 2. Now, he's perfectly confident that they are going to show off Twilight Princess and Wind Waker, but he's pretty confident that we'll get the name. And so my challenge to you is, what do you think the name is? If anyone gets the name right and can prove that they like posted it before it came out, I'll give you a prize. All right, I feel like it's going to be a play on Breath of the, right? I mean, I guess they could just go Breath of the Wild 2, but I think Nintendo is more clever than that. Look at the names before: Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask. When they love to have their 2 or 3 word like heavy hitter. It's the theme of the game. And if you recall, Bill Trinen from Nintendo said they weren't ready to discuss the name of the game a while back because it was going to reveal too much. In fact, I believe that was last year. Yeah, I think like last September, he said they weren't ready to talk about the name. So what is the name, and how does it relate to Link up in the clouds, his crazy arm? What could it be? Breath of the Darkness, Breath of the Ages, Breath of Time. Take a deep breath. It's still coming. I mean, I don't know what it's going to be called, but I'm very curious what you think it'll be. Now, if they are to reveal the name, I think they have to have a pretty substantial trailer. Now, those things kind of go part and parcel to me. I don't think you just come out there and have Aonuma say like, yo, it's called Breath of the Wild Fang. Breath of Zelda. Zelda's stinky morning breath. I think you have to have a trailer, and it'll probably be a lore story trailer. So I think this trailer would establish what the plot of the game is and what the basis for this next adventure, and really Nintendo doing the thing they don't often like to do and sequelizing Zelda in a direct way. And I think we'll get to see exactly what we're up against and exactly what the course of action is going to be, and maybe get some gameplay hints as well. Now, they did divulge some gameplay mechanics in their most recent trailer, which was more expansive than their original trailer, but it was still pretty darn short. So who knows what all they reveal and what level, but I do think if they give the name, I think they make their best pitch for the game. So I think if you read into Jeff Grubb's predictions and you see that Nintendo is going a Zelda heavy route, then I think we can expect Breath of the Wild 2. And I think we can expect a substantial trailer that once they get their name out there, once, pre-orders are out there, they may not have a date just yet. It may still be spring, but I know that they want to sell this to you. They may not need to, but I know Nintendo, their traditional marketing, they want to make sure that they have a piece that they can say, here, this is why you buy the game. And the name alone isn't it. So I think a trailer and a name is a pretty gargantuan, exciting, awesome way to have this Direct just instantly rise the ranks. Now, obviously, they have to have other surprises, reveals as well. We know all the GameCube stuff. Maybe there's something hidden. There was recently, like, Grezzo's working on a new game. I mean, Donkey Kong is supposedly still lurking out there, but this will be the focal point for sure. Does it get the one more thing treatment? Probably. Ending with Breath of the Wild 2 is always a way to make sure that you get big buzz and a name reveal. What is it going to be? Please let me know your guesses. Post them on Twitter, post them here on YouTube some way, and then screenshot it with a timestamp, because if you get it right, I will reward you. And I just feel like there's been so many guesses, but I feel like nobody's going to get it. I feel like it's going to be weird in a Nintendo way, like the Wii U. I do think it'll have Breath in it, but then again, maybe it won't. Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask are like the closest, and they're also not that close in name, so we assume it'll be Breath of the something, but perhaps they go a completely different route, and it's like Arm of the Ages. I don't know. We'll have to wait and find out, but it does seem like this Direct is really ramping up to be a spectacular show. Depending on whatever you're interested in, you're going to find something hopefully fun there. Surprises, old Zelda, new Zelda, remakes, new games, exciting looks ahead, and third-party stuff like It Takes Two. So let me know in the comments down below what you're most excited about. I'm sure it's got to be Breath of the Wild 2, but if it's not, I'd love to hear what you're pumped for. I really do want to see that Metroid Prime remake. I really want to see how much effort they put into that and what kind of strides it's made since GameCube. But I can't lie. I'm still most excited for the trailer we just talked about. I'm still most excited, and I'm fingers crossed there's no delay at the end of the trailer. That is something we do have to prepare ourselves for. They could say summer 2023. They could say spring. They could say nothing. So we'll pay close attention to that and analyze it once it's out. But for now, next week, we will know the title of the most anticipated Nintendo game of all time. So what do you think about that? Pretty darn awesome. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Hope your week is starting off well. And until next time, thanks again. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy, stay positive out there. SwitchForce out.